Hello friends, as we are looking into the new year, I'm going to be walking you through exactly how I am figuring out what I need to do, how many listings down to the day that I need to do next year to hit my goal. I'm going to walk you through it and I'm going to show you guys my new spreadsheet that is for purchase that I have made for you guys to purchase. The link to purchase will be down below. I'll walk you through it as well as it comes with a listing accountability template for you guys to track and manage and make sure that you hit your goals. So I'm going to walk you through exactly what I'm doing. Let me know your guys' goals down below and what you're planning on doing. As we go into this recession, if you guys have followed me or you've been watching some of my content, you've probably seen it as well. Things are getting harder and harder and harder. And so for me, my goal honestly is to just stay the same, slowly maybe work on increasing my net, but stay the same and honestly work less hours. So try and keep the same gross, working less hours on my reselling business so that I can mold a little bit more into the social media, the mentoring, accountability, creating you guys spreadsheets, and helping out other resellers. I'm really enjoying that aspect of my business. And I want it to be a little bit more of an even split. So in order to do this, I'm looking at my numbers. How can I stay in my current situation and my net? I'm looking at, if you guys are new to the channel, this is the Sarah Style Sales and Trends dashboard. This is for purchase already on my way. This is not the new one, but this is for purchase already. If you are a gold member, you get 50% off. I'm running promotions throughout the month and into the new year because I really want to set you guys up for success. Why am I looking at this? Because I want to know on an annual basis, 2022, what my gross revenue was. Now, if you guys are watching this and you follow me, you know that I've been trying to get to 100,000 gross revenue. I hit 6 figures last year. Things got a little rough this year and a little hard with the recession and different things happening. You guys know that this is not, you can see I'm filming on December 12th. So you may see this in a couple weeks right before the new year happens. So I don't think I'm going to make $10,000 though over the course of half a month. So I don't think I'm going to hit that as well, but stay tuned and watch for my videos to see what happens for the rest of the month. It will be coming out probably right around when this video comes, when the new year hits. But what I'm doing is we're just going to base it off of this, right? We're talking 2 weeks, you know, you're talking a couple $1,000s here, maybe if I have a really good month. End of December typically is not huge for me. Everyone's out of money for Christmas, but this is my gross revenue. So gross is the very top number. This includes shipping, fees, cost of goods, all of that, friends. And the new spreadsheet, the platinum formula for resellers, is coming out, and this is going all the way down to the net because it's something that I think during the recession we really need to be mindful of. Our margins are going to get slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. For me, I am trying to keep that gross the same, but I want to increase my net slightly. My margins tend to be about 50%. So I'm just going to take $90,000. I'm going to cut it in half and say we're going to do $45,000. Divide that by 12 months, and I'm sitting at about $7,500 a month that I need to make every single month. Now, let me look at my spreadsheet. I think I'm going to go ahead and round that up. Yes. So this is the platinum formula for resellers, friends. I'm so excited about this. I've been talking about it. I've made it. It is going to help you guys so much. So if you're familiar with the channel, golden formula for resellers is still in it, but now we're going all the way down. We're going a little bit deeper into the net revenue. I rounded up to 8,000 because maybe I have a month that's not great. I would rather get into December and be like, I'm there. I don't have to do anything. I can coast in December, have a bad month, and it's not. So I rounded up just a little bit to $8,000. Now, this is a lot of math, friends. I'm going to walk you through it. The nice thing with this, though, is you don't have to do any of the math. You have to understand what it's doing so that you can make strategic decisions about your business. But all of the cells that are in gray are numbers that you can update for your own situation, and then it'll come down and tell you all the way down to the very bottom how many listings you need to do every single day. Now, for those that are new to the channel, I'm going to talk quickly about the golden formula for resellers, and then the platinum formula for resellers is going to be new. So golden formula for resellers, we're looking at our gross. What makes up our gross revenue? Once we have a formula and variables that make up our gross revenue, now we can play with those numbers and say there's a recession coming and my average sale price is completely tanking. I can work with my active listings. I can work with my right? My sell-through or my average sale price over here is tanking. My active listings and my sell-through rate, I still have two more variables that I can work with, right? Because seventh grade math, or actually first grade math, right? You learn what an equal sign means. This side equals that side. So if your gross revenue is going down because the economy is tanking, people don't have money, whatever the reason is, lots of videos on how to figure that out. So make sure to subscribe. But if your gross revenue is going down, if you increase one of those other variables on the other side, your gross revenue will also increase, friends. And that's the amazing thing about the golden formula for the resellers. However, now we have to start taking into an account. Not now, you should have always been taking into account, but I provided this spreadsheet so that you can easily start taking into account the things that impact your gross revenue. And this is where the net revenue comes from. The things that impact your net revenue are going to be, you take your gross revenue, you take out your average cost of goods. So how much you're paying for your items is going to impact your how much you make at the end of the day. You take out your fees, that's also going to impact, it's coming out of your gross revenue, and you take out your shipping. So some of these things you have some control over, some of these things that you don't have control over. But now you can look at exactly what they do in your business to help you make strategic decisions, especially as margins are going to start getting slim. And we're going to look at it for you. I'm going to tell you some strategies that I'm going into the new year with. As I know the recession is coming, the recession is here. My average sale price is absolutely tanking, but I want to make sure to hit that that monthly revenue goal. And I actually want to try and do it in less time. So let's go ahead and take a look at this spreadsheet. These gray numbers, you can move around. Don't move them. You can enter in your numbers. So I've gone in and entered in my numbers. If you guys are new to the channel and you don't know how to find these things, your definitions and formulas are over here. Your sell-through rate is how many items you've sold out of how many items that you have for sale. So that is if you have 100 items for sale and you've sold 10 of them this month, you have a 10% sell-through rate. It gives you a rate of your items selling. It is a way to quantify your business. It's a way to track your business and compare your business. If you simply say, hey, I sold more items this month than I sold last month, well, do you have more items? Do you have less items? Do you have the same amount of items? If you just measure it by how many you sold, it doesn't give you the health of your store. So that's why we put it into a rate, into the sell-through rate. Now, where did I get this number from? I track my own data in the Sarah Style Sales and Trends dashboard. So this, like I said, I am running major sales because I want everyone to be able to be successful in this next coming year. It's going to be really hard. I want you to be successful. So in here, it goes through and tracks these numbers for you in various different ways. I'm just looking at the last 28 days. I was going to take the entire year, but if you look at this chart here, the current sell-through rate is this dark blue dotted line. And you can see my sell-through rate was increasing. I had some smaller here. So I wanted to take the most recent, because it was kind of fluctuating. Things are happening right now. I want to take my most recent sell-through rate. That's 9.4. This doesn't have, this doesn't have the percentages in it, but now you can see up here 9.45. I actually didn't update this to exactly how many I have. Actually, I'm going through reconciliation right now. So we're going to keep it at 2,200 until I'll link a video up here about it. eBay lost 500 of my items. I don't want to forget to pick up my kids. eBay lost 500 of my items. So I'm going through and figuring out how many I have compared to my spreadsheet. So eBay has about 2,200 right now. That's how many active that I have. My spreadsheet is different. I'm figuring that out. Check out my video on that so you guys can follow me. My average sale price, again, that comes from the Sarah Style Sales and Trends dashboard. I'm looking at the most recent data. You guys have to look at your business and figure out what number you want. Do you want December number? Do you want, if you scroll up to the top, you can have the whole month or the whole year is your average. I'm taking the last 28 days because my average sale price, you can see here, this dark blue is definitely declining. It's increasing in December though, so that's hopeful. Well, follow me to see what happens. All right, and then we're going over to the net revenue side. This is where we're looking at our average cost of goods, our fees, and our shipping. Now, Sarah, where do you get these numbers from? If you have the Sarah Style Sales and Trends dashboard, again, if you go to the inventory tab and you scroll all the way down, you have your revenue split out. The numbers come from here. If you don't, your average cost of goods is for all of the items that sold this month on average, how much did it take? How much did you spend on the items that sold? Average price of goods sold. So for the items that sold this month, on average, how much did you spend on them? For me, it's $4.70. You can see here. I can calculate it here, but if I come down to the month of December, I'm sitting at about $4.70. My fees, 16.2%. This again comes from the Sarah Style Sales and Trends dashboard. I will show you, this is kind of a tutorial since this is the new spreadsheet. If you scroll all the way down on the inventory tab and go to your fees, 16.2%. So for me, that's a combination between eBay and Poshmark. Let's say you strictly sell on Poshmark, you put 20% in. Let's say you strictly sell on eBay, you can go onto eBay and figure out what your fees are there. I will link a video up here on how to figure out that number, how to figure out your eBay fees in general, and then find that number if you're on eBay strictly. If you're between the two, you're going to have to figure out, or if you're on multiple different places, you're going to have to figure out what your percentage of fees is. Your shipping. Again, this is from the Sarah Style Sales and Trends dashboard. My shipping tends to be 14.3%. Friends, this is something, and we're going to see it in a minute. I am working on my net. Margins are going to get tight. And what I mean by this is people have less money to spend. We're going to be paying more to be selling. There's more people selling. There's there's more people in retail. I'm having to promote my listings higher to get them sold. Certain things like this. The cost of goods has been fluctuating if you're shopping at the thrift store. So these are all different variables now, friends. Any 6 of these that you move is going to impact your gross and going to impact your net, right? So this is currently where we're at. I want to talk all the way down to how many, if everything stays the same for me, what I need to be doing every single day in the new year. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about my strategy moving forward and what I'm actually going to be doing to be able to hit this goal for the new year. So we're going to come down to your listing goal. This is your monthly gross revenue. This is where I put my $8,000. So you would put your number in there and then how many months I want to get there. So this is going to depend on what your goal actually is. If you are growing from $200 to $10,000, there is absolutely no way that you're going to be able to do it in a month. I mean, unless you have a huge team and your listing goal is just going to be astronomical. So be mindful and, how many months until you're going to hit your goal. I have 6 months in here. I'm actually going to put 1 month. Actually, no, that's a lie. I'm going to keep it at 6 months just to see what we need to do to get there because my sell-through rate is increasing. Keep everything the same. So this is how many active listings I'll need. And then to get to this number, I need to be listing 12 items daily, assuming that I'm at reseller nirvana. Now, reseller nirvana is selling as many items as you're listing. Chris at A Daily Refinement coins this, but this is a way to, one of the metrics to see if your store is healthy. I'm going to tell you, for me, honestly, my store is not there. It's hard times. I've had it over the past couple months here and there, but you can see, again, the Sarah Style Sales and Trends dashboard, you can see I'm selling 66 items and I'm currently listing 90 items. If this is the case, figure out how to get to reseller nirvana. If you're not there, maybe have a little bit heftier of a listing goal, knowing that you're not selling everything that you're listing. However, that being said, if you're not selling what you're listing, eventually once you get to your stability of your store, how many listings you should have in your store. If you're not selling what you're listing, you need to figure out why. You're buying bad items, you don't have good SEOs, listings, lots of various different reasons, all reasons that I talk about on my channel and figuring out what that is. But based off of where I'm currently sitting now and my listing goal and my net goal for the new year, I need to list 12 items a day to get there in 6 months, which is actually currently what I do. So I'm on track to hit it. However, remember at the beginning of the video, I want to be spending less time reselling. So I want that. I'm currently doing 12 a day. I'd like this to be closer to 10 a day. It's less sourcing, it's less shipping, it's less photographs, it's less I pay a virtual assistant, less money to a virtual assistant, which at the end of the day is going to also increase my net. Not here because I don't account for expenses here, but at the end of the day, how much money I put into my bank account. Before we get into some strategies that I'm using, I do want to go on over to this weekly planner printout because this this is something that you guys can look at every single week to stay on track to hit your goals. We talk about it in the golden, we will be talking about it in the YouTube members gold. We're going to be tracking accountability. It's one of the things that we do in the gold membership, as well as getting discounts to all of these free courses, lives, and all of that. But this is something you can either, if you're comfortable in spreadsheets and you want to do it, you can do it in the spreadsheet. If you want to print it out and handwrite it, that's fine too. But tracking your goals is one of the biggest ways that you are going to set yourself up for success. So your goals for the week, and this can be, hey, I'm going to source 2 hours. I'm going to do 2 YouTube videos. I'm going to take time for my kids, whatever it is. Those are your goals for the week. Once you write them down, it's easier to obtain them because now they're written down and you have them, you can see them. This goal number automatically populates once you fill in the platinum formula for resellers, right? So let's say I take this down to 3 months. Now my listing goal is going to be 16, right? So before you print this out, make sure that you have your goal set up in your in the platinum formula for resellers. And then you can go in here, if you write this out, you're going to have to handwrite it and do the calculations. But let's say that you don't write it out and you want to go in and do it on this spreadsheet every single week. And let's say these are your listing habits for the week. And then on Saturday, I cranked out a whole bunch of listings. This calculates it for you. I listed 108 this week. That means I'm only down 4 listings. Now you can add that to your listings for next week, right? To make sure that you make it. And then at the end of the week, friends, I went to school to be a teacher. Reflections is one of the best ways to make improvements and to actually learn and build consistency. Reflect on what you did this week. What allowed you to get 4 away from your goal? If that goal is bigger, what could you improve? What did you do well? Write down those improvements and your reflections so that you guys can improve and hit your listing goal for the week. If you guys have the sales and trends dashboard, this does it all for you. The tracking is really good as well, but this does it all for you. It comes down and tells you how many items you need to sell, what your average sale price needs to be, how many active listings you need, and what your daily listing goal needs to be. This is based off of your data, and it is populated as often as you populate. If you populate this, your information in your listings every single day, this is going to populate it. And then there's also this chart down here that tells you, okay, how close are you to your listing goal? And you have your daily listing goal here. Now, what am I going to do to get to my goal? Like I said, I want to decrease this to about 10 a day. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to work really hard on increasing my sell-through rate. I'm going to try and get it up to 15%. However, what I'm going to do to do this, a couple things, and they're based off of this. So if you're in the YouTube Gold members, you get this. This is for sale on my website as well, links down below. But this tells you, you have your golden formula for resellers, your sell-through rate, your active listings, and your average sale price. Those are the 3 variables that you can work on. I'm choosing to work on my sell-through rate. And what does that entail? To increase my sell-through rate, to increase how many items I'm selling, essentially, that means that I should be running sales, doing offers, promoting my listings, making sure my SEOs, and that I'm cross-listing to appropriate platforms. I'm becoming more of a volume seller. So I'm going to be looking at my inventory and finding more in-demand inventory. So the things that I'm doing, if you guys follow my channel, you know that I run sales and offers and all of these things. I'm definitely going to keep doing that. I'm going to be doing sell similar. I run sales and coupons and all of that. Highly recommend in general, but I'm already doing that. I'm going to mess around with increasing my promoted listings a little bit. So let's say this goes up to 20%. So to get a higher sell through for me, it's coming at a cost out of my net. 20% cost. However, that got my daily listings down. I can still hit my goal. That got my daily listings down to 11 listings, right? One other thing, I think there was one other thing I was going to do. Now I don't remember. Oh, so one other thing that I think that I'm going to do, and I'm going to have to mess with this, but one other thing that I'm going to do is really hone in on my dashboard and hone in on my data that is actually providing me a high sell-through rate. And that means coming into these charts, looking at my brands, what sell-through rates, Escada, okay, surprise, surprise, Vince, Skechers, Ralph Lauren, Dansko's. I recently just did a video on top brands that sell, so these are a lot of them. Patagonia. Maybe I stopped buying Nike. My sell-through rate for Nike is not great. Do a little bit more research, Sarah. Quit buying things that are not selling. Free people. Maybe be a little bit more mindful of free people that's selling. What categories are selling right now? This is going to be sweaters. Okay, sweatshirts. It's winter, right? Sweaters, pants, shorts obviously are not selling right now. That's more of a seasonal item. But should I be more mindful? My top sell-through is not as high as the other ways. When I am outsourcing, I need to be much more mindful of buying tops. I'm trying to work on categories that have high sell-through rates for me. And then the last thing that I'm going to recommend, if you don't have access to your data, and I'm going to do it as well, but if you don't have access to your data, check out Terapeak as well. I will link a video up here. You can research things in there. They also provide sourcing guide data based off of your categories, and they will make recommendations on what categories and what things are selling on eBay right now. Let me know your guys' list. Let me know your guys' goal for 2023, and let's crush it this year, friends. If you liked this video, I will link a playlist here of how to make money reselling. YouTube thinks you'd like this video. Make sure to join YouTube membership so I can support you, and then hit that subscribe button.